Hey, what's going on, everybody? You know, I get a kick, I get a laugh out of every time I hear somebody say, we got to cut government spending to save taxpayer money. So how exactly does that save taxpayer money? I'm not even going to get into the conversation of that taxes don't even fund government spending. I mean, they can't. It's impossible. Because nobody could even pay their taxes until those dollars are spent out into the economy. So we have the dollars to pay the taxes. But I've been over that so many times. But how exactly does cutting spending save taxpayer dollars? From what I see, cutting spending saves the government dollars. But unless there's a tax cut that goes along with that spending cut, we're still paying the same amount of taxes, okay? So what's happened, actually, we're really, when you think about it, spending cuts that are not offset by tax cuts. See, the tax cuts are what deliver the savings to the non-government, right? Tax cut means more money in your pocket, so that's more savings. Unless spending cuts are offset at the same time with tax cuts, then in actuality, what's happening is that we're being taxed more, okay? Because the spending cuts are removing income from the economy. Okay, we could argue about, or we could have a discussion that the spending is going to bad, causes or whatever, fraud or whatever. That's a valid conversation to have. I'm not even, we're not even getting into that right now. I'm just talking about in the macro sense. When you hear somebody say, we got to cut spending to save taxpayer money, all that's doing is saving the government money unless we get a tax cut at the same time, unless the non-government, that's us, gets a tax cut. Then the savings are passed along to us. If there's no tax cut and just a reduction in government spending, all that does is remove money from the economy. And again, we could have the discussion that the money was going to bad places and it shouldn't be going there, blah, blah, blah. I get that. And I'm in agreement with a lot of that. But I'm talking about the macro picture. If the government cuts spending, yeah, it's saving money for itself, which, by the way, it has the monopoly power to issue without restraint dollars. But we are not getting the benefit. It's not saving us anything. And as a matter of fact, because the spending cuts are removing income, fiscally, it's the same thing of having another tax increase put on us in the macro economy. So I just laugh at this because people are like, yeah, we need to cut spending to save taxpayers money. It's not saving anybody any money unless there's a tax cut that comes along with it. Then the government saving is transferred to us. That's what we want, okay? That's what we want. So all this stuff that Trump is proposing, and by the way, I still support Trump, and I voted for him and I support him. I think he's got, unfortunately, in the economic realm, I think he's surrounded himself with a lot of, bad, not bad that they're evil, but just like ineffective people, guys like his Treasury Secretary and the Commerce Secretary, and these people who are basically hard money, kind of gold bug monetarists, maybe not overtly, but in their heads, the way they see things like money's limited, this kind of thing. And deficits are bad, this kind of stuff, without really understanding what they mean. I mean, again, nobody can pay their taxes. Literally, I'm going to say this, that it is impossible, yes, I'm using that word. It is impossible for the taxes to pay for government spending, because nobody can pay their tax unless the dollars are put into the economy first. And the only place the dollars originate from is from government spending. Okay, so it's literally impossible. If the government did not spend those dollars into existence, and then it imposed a tax that is only payable in dollars, nobody would be able to pay. You see? Again, the monopoly game. If the monopoly game doesn't distribute the money, and you go around the board and you fall on chance or community chest and it says pay a tax of 75, and the game didn't distribute the money, you can't pay. Okay? The game, when you open up that game, it doesn't ask you for money so it can operate. It distributes the money so you can operate. That's it. So when you hear something like, we gotta cut, and again, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of that shit, that spending that is garbage, and I'm against. And I think government spending / investment could be directed in much better areas. But you can't say that we got to cut spending to save taxpayers money unless at the same time there is a tax cut to the non-government. In other words, that the government passes along those savings to us. Otherwise, all that has happened is a reduction in income transfers to the economy, which is the same exact thing as saying they just raised taxes on us. That's it for the MMT lesson for today. Bye.